if every single person contributed, I mean, really contributed, and the personal skills, social skills, as well as just working skills, I'm absolutely, positively sure that every single person on this planet would be employed because there's a purpose for everyone.
So currently there's about I think it's between 5 and 10 job seekers for every job.
Yeah.
So there's actually in Australia right now a shortage of jobs.
Yeah.
So that means that we can't have zero unemployment right now if we leave it up to the private sector. There aren't enough jobs for everyone.
I think if there was more leniency, there would be, but nobody's going to split time, and everyone has bills to pay, ultimately.
So splitting, you mean like job sharing as opposed to hiring a new person? But that doesn't solve the problem of full-time employment.
But if you've got job sharing, okay, you have two people with different capabilities. No one has the same capabilities.
If there's a shortage of jobs, meaning that even if there was a perfect match and everyone who was unemployed fit the roles, even at that point we would still have a substantial unemployment rate. Do you think that it's reasonable to say that the government should be obliged to provide those people with jobs who want to work?
I don't think it's an obligation. I think the people that want to work, there should be an avenue for them to utilise their skills, make them feel worthwhile. I mean, every human being wants to contribute.
So you don't think they should be paid for their contribution?
I think they should be paid for their contribution.
So what's that if it's not a job? Like working and using skills and then being paid, that's a job?
Of course.
So would it be reasonable for the government to say, okay, we get that you all want to work, there's not a perfect fit, there's not enough jobs. If there's not enough jobs but you still want to work, we'll give you a job.
I think people can be found jobs suitable to their skills and their intellect. I really do.
But there, like, statistically, there just aren't enough jobs at the moment in this country to allow all the people, even on the official unemployment rate, to get, for example, full-time work. Far from it. It's a sort of 6 or 7 times more job seekers than there are jobs. So there's a real shortage of jobs.
So there's a demand for employers, new businesses, there's a demand for more innovation. You've got the catch-22 also, because if they aren't unemployed to take benefits, then you haven't got the employment rate in Centrelink. So you've got to look at both sides of that. Okay, to keep people employed in Centrelink, you've got to have the unemployed. Where there's a will, I think there's a way. I think, okay, you may have these skills and just add something else to a skill and be more diversified as opposed to specialised.
Okay, so you're staunch in the belief that it's personal responsibility, we should leave job creation up to the private sector, and that the government has no role in guaranteeing full employment.
Not necessarily. I think the government has a certain responsibility to its people, but also...
employment isn't one of them.
I think employment is, but you've got to look at the dichotomy of, Centrelink, you're employing so many people in Centrelink to maintain the people that aren't.
Isn't that a bit like saying that if we could find a cure for cancer, we shouldn't do it because so many people are employed in cancer research?
Well, the thing is, you've got to look at the core of why cancer's there in the first place.
No, but I'm saying just like literally, if we could cure it today and had the opportunity to cure it, that we shouldn't do that because so many people are engaged in gainful employment researching cancer.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
That's the same logic. To say that we need to keep keep some unemployed people to employ the people to manage the unemployed is a bit like saying if we could cure cancer, we shouldn't do it.
Well, the thing is, to save people's jobs in Centrelink, ultimately they can't lose their base purpose of servicing the unemployed.
Okay, so if there was an alternative, I mean, if the government's guaranteeing a job,
to get a win-win situation out of that situation, you would move.
Do you know that that in this country before the mid-70s we had a policy of full employment?
Oh no.
So from 1945 to 1975, introduced by John Curtin, there was a policy, stated government policy of full employment, And during that period, full employment rarely got above 2%. And that's what's called the frictional employment level, which means people are between jobs or whatever. So in this country, we previously had a policy where the government guaranteed full employment. Do you think that it's a worthwhile policy?
I think it's a worthwhile policy.
Okay. Because then people have some money.
Of course, that's
Emergency
how
job.
the world goes around. If I get paid, you get paid.
Right,
And
so
everybody else, I mean,
people spending
it
equals
just-
income.
It just equalises.
So if the
it.
people at Centrelink, instead of having to administrate unemployment benefits, were instead administrating a job guarantee,
And skills.
same skills, same type of administration work, but instead of keeping the 6% of people who want to work unemployed, we just keep them employed while they're waiting for private sector employment.
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay.